happening?
Well, thank you. What happened is that the incoming government decided to disregard the unions, the whole conversation that we have been on over the years on subsidy. We agreed that subsidy will be removed, but you must allow the refineries to function first. We know the impact on the masses from what you are seeing today. It was a surprise to all of us that the president went ahead to announce that he will consult all the stakeholders before taking decisions. But he went ahead to announce that the subsidy is gone without our discussions. So those are the issues we have. Since the past 3 days, we have been taken by surprise with such a statement. And we know the impact of subsidy removal on the masses. So we are advocating that before you do such thing, you must ensure that there's a functional refinery, and then we will remove the subsidy. Secondly, where are you going to channel the fund? There must be a cushioning effect on the masses. So you just wake up one morning and announce subsidy is gone, and the masses have been thrown into confusion. So that's where we are today. The union have made their position known. You cannot bid on nothing. Reverse back to the old price. We can come to the table to discuss.
At the moment, you said certain agreements and negotiations were already entered into with the outgone administration of President Buhari.
Yes.
What were those terms that were on ground that were expected to be looked into before implementation of subsidy?
The discussion around, we have had a discussion on this for, if I can remember, 6-7 months ago. It was on. That was why this window of 1 month was given before end of June. One of the issues that we need to have one refinery functional. As you can remember, there are rehabilitation going on in Petrol Refinery, Warri and Kaduna. They have gone to advanced stages, so we need to evaluate where we are today and then see if we can have one functioning first before we remove subsidy.
The Harcourt refinery was supposed to be the closest. We were told it was supposed to be up and running in about 60,000 barrels per day at most. This was by November last year, October even, and then it went to November, it went to December, it came to January, and then it got to March, and now we're here in second quarter of this month, of this year, which should be around July.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us, PENGASSAN, any ideas as to where the work stage is at now with the Harcourt refinery? Is it going to be up and running anytime soon? Especially, we already have the Dangote refinery ready to start production from July to August, thereabout.
Those are part of the issues we are raising. We have not evaluated where we are on the turnaround maintenance to ascertain if we'll be able to meet up with the second quarter projections. So the work at the Harcourt refinery is ongoing, but I cannot specifically give you the figure on the percentage of completion today.
Why is it difficult to get the refinery running if it's an integral part of removing subsidy? One of the major demands was for refineries to work. In your opinion, what would you think is behind why it's difficult for a nation as big as this with the resources we have? The resources are available. It's not like we do not have the resources. Why is it so difficult to get our refineries to run? I mean, the Dangote refinery, over if I'm not mistaken, 65,000 or thereabout. Or I think that's what it is, or more. And that refinery is one of the largest, and it came up running in less than 3 years. So exactly what is the problem in PENGASSAN's opinion?
We have said it over and over again. Before now, we are not carried along with the supposed turnaround maintenance that we are doing. So if you look at...
You call it supposed. Does it mean that we don't have...
We don't see the impact. If the refineries are working, me and you will see the product in the market. So if you have been maintaining the refinery over the years, how come there is no product? It's not functional. So when I say supposedly, they claim they have been maintaining the refinery, and we are not seeing that in the product availability. So what we did was from the PIB to PIA, we contributed our quota to ensure that the union will be carried along in the current maintenance. So I think we ensure that we follow up to the processes, and today what they are doing, we are monitoring it.
You're monitoring the work ongoing at the
Yes.
moment. All right, so talk to us. What is next now for PENGASSAN? Has any meeting been reached by the Petroleum and Natural Gas Industry Association? Are you looking at how are you going forward now with the new price of petrol? Because, I mean, you had earlier said that, well, this is what we see petrol price looking like once subsidy is removed. You've also encouraged for the removal of subsidy. Now subsidy has been removed, but you don't seem to be excited about it. So what is the way forward?
The government have to return back to table. First of all, they need to revert to the old rate. Subsidy was captured in the budget for the month of June. So there was no need to explicitly announce the word subsidy at the end of May. June is the targeted month. Even though we have not affirmed that, there is still discussion ongoing. Government has to reverse back to the old price and then come to the table.
Please, I want you to state for us again. So you're saying that there were provisions for subsidy in the budget up until June?
Yes.
How did you come about this?
The government Minister of Finance stated that before the end of last administration.
Okay. So what could be behind why then we are not seeing the subsidy continuing until the end of June?
It's just a mere pronouncement by the current president on the May Day. It just was thrown all of us into confusion. There was no need for that. There was absolutely no need for the pronouncement because there were still provision for subsidy till end of June.
Well, many people already have diverse opinions about this. For some people, regardless of the price, they are just after the product being very available and readily available for them to access, and it wouldn't mind how much it costs as long as we can easily get it without staying in the queues and all of that. It brings me to ask, do we have products in this country? Is there petroleum products? Do we have petrol, to be precise, in this country?
NNPC have gone ahead to assure that there are products in the country. The same NNPC went ahead to fix a new rate without waiting to the end of June. So those are the intrigues. So, well, from what they told us as products.
What about from what you know as PENGASSAN?
Well,
from what you know as PENGASSAN, would you stand before Nigerians and say, well, we agree with NNPC, we have sufficient product to take care of the demands? Yes,
there is sufficient product. If you go out there in the street, the marketers have products which are subsidized already by the federal government. So they resorted to selling it at the exorbitant rate because of the pronouncement. There are products in the country.
All right. Because we spoke with Petron, the chairman of Petron in Rivers State, and some filling station owners, and they didn't quite agree with what you're saying. For most of them, they've paid for products to get from depots from the NNPC months ago. Those products haven't arrived. And some of us realized that even before that comment was made by the president, we started seeing certain filling stations shutting down already. We started seeing some selling at a higher price of up to about, at the time, 250, 230 naira. And when we investigated, they said it was because we were running out of products, and the products that they paid for had not arrived. Some of them for months, from February since March, gotten it. So if you're now saying that there's enough product, and filling station owners and Petron, and from our investigations we have seen that, well, this is what they said, products have not been delivered to them, even from private depots where some of them bought as at 230 naira. How then can we put these two things together? Is it that there are products or people are not distributing?
How many of them can show you the evidence of their payments and how much they paid and how much product have been delivered? Those were the speculations between the second week of May. People started trying to reduce their sales because we are feeling that there will be certain pronouncements on May 29th. It was not because there was no product. There was enough product. They had product. It's up to 28th of May. Probably have been sold around 110, 210, 230, as you said. So if there was no product on 28th May, how come by 30th of May there was the shutdown? There was product till end of June provided for and subsidized.
Okay. Well, you heard it from the PENGASSAN chairman, Potalo Zone. We go on a very short commercial. As soon as we return, we hope to get your thoughts. Well, we're not hoping. I'm pretty sure you're itching and you have questions to ask and contributions to make. So, yes, send those thoughts to us on WhatsApp 0809-030-6416. Join the conversation. We are live on Facebook at the moment, so you can just log on to Facebook, search Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, and you can watch us live and drop your comments as well. We're asking you to tell us at this particular point in time, between the price of petrol and the availability of petrol, which is of more concern to you? We'll be right back. 26 minutes now past 8, still the morning crossfire, and the conversation's getting even more intense. Here in the studio with me is PENGASSAN Port Harcourt Zonal Chairman George Nwoko. You heard him say there is a lot of products, enough product is available, but then he hasn't answered my question as to then why is it not evenly distributed, or why aren't people getting easy access to the product? Everybody seems to be queuing at the NNPC filling stations, perhaps because it's 511 naira there, and other places you get for at least 520 naira. Perhaps you tell us that. And you also said PENGASSAN had steps in mind it was going to take in reaction to the steps that the government has taken. We are going to also hear those plans from you in a matter of moments. But first, let's get on to the listener, who I'm pretty sure has plenty of questions to ask and their own opinion to share on the show this morning. Don't forget, take advantage of our video and audio output on Facebook. Okay, you can watch and listen on Facebook, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH, on Twitter, Nigeria Info PH. I already told you my guest, PENGASSAN Port Harcourt Zonal Chairman, with me in the studio. Call us now on the numbers 0817 923 0007, 0817 923 0007. You can also reach us here in the studio with the numbers 0817 923 0003. Again, 0817 923 0003. Those are the numbers to call to get access to us here in the studio and ask your questions and make your contributions. The WhatsApp number is still very much active, so you can send your thoughts as well on WhatsApp using the number 0809 030 6416. Quickly, your comments on Facebook. Paulinus Lima says the price is very important. Remember, we're asking you availability of the product or the price of the product, which is of utmost concern to you. And Paulinus here says the price. Sonny Evo says, okay, Baba Safety says, let this administration not collapse this country with their unplanned decisions. Mickey Blinders says, both of them, sir. I'm very sad Nigeria is an oil producing country and we lack petrol or even sell at a very high and outrageous price. Those are some of your comments coming in on Facebook Live. You can keep dropping those comments. I'll be taking them as soon as possible. JJ is calling from Rumigbo at the moment. Let's hear from JJ. Straight to the point, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me greet your guest in the studio.
Good morning.
I agree that subsidy need to go, but the timing becomes an issue. And again, the price regime that they brought out right now, the price schedule, does not consider Warri, Port Harcourt as a producing area. It means the price did not consider the refineries working, even though your guests are saying that the maintenance has gone to high gear and all those put together. I was in Element the other day, but what I saw, scaffold all over did not look like where anything is going on. But that said, how come Lagos is 488, Port Harcourt is 511. Those states close to Lagos are cheaper or lower than Port Harcourt. It shows that what they did right now is just considering Dangote refinery. If they consider that Port Harcourt have refinery that will soon work, Warri have refinery that will soon work, I think Warri too and Port Harcourt would have been going for the same 488. So for me, they have finally killed the refinery. I don't see it working with this price.
All right, JJ, thank you very much. I think you stole that out of my head. That was going to be my next question, the yardstick for fixing these prices. And I also noticed that areas in certain regions, Lagos, Oyo, Osun, those areas all had similar amount of price, below 500, I think 400 and some fractions added. We'll come to that. Just hold that thought. Let's take more calls. Richard in Ada George, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead, Richard.
Okay, well, my take is this. This thing that just happened, President just pronounced a subsidy with this fuel attendant. They don't want to listen. What they locked everywhere. But if the president said they should not the system fuel for 200 naira. They will say they don't have they want to place their own old market. But what just happened? They close everywhere. But if people should want them, because we are youth, we are not happy with what is happening in Nigeria. Very soon, if it fix it well, we will burn down all the fuel stations in Nigeria. Nobody will have fuel again.
Goodness, Richard.
So let's just forget about the fuel issue. They should fix it well because the youth are not happy.
Okay, Richard, thank you. But please, no burning down of anything. Please. Braid from Eliozu, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, go on.
Yeah, my take is this. Now, if you look at Lagos, the price is different from River State, where we have refinery. And also Warri is also different from Lagos. And these are oil producing states. Suffers higher price than the other states. I don't know the rationale over it. And also, I think the government should be able to sit down with the stakeholders and look at this issue. Because subsidy removal will be at the end of June. And May, subsidy has entirely been removed. Then the excesses that accrued by June, where would those money go to? Because it's in the budget that the subsidy will end by June ending. And now, May ending, subsidy has ended, and total increase of the petroleum products. Who gets that money? That's my take.
Okay, all right, we'll get the money. It's the question from Braid. Good news in Mouth 3. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother, man.
Welcome. Good news. Go
Your
on.
question. Availability of petrol, the full of petrol, or the price. From my observation, I understand that whenever the price is high in price, the product is being scarce, either artificial or on its own. But whenever the product is cheap, the product will be very, very available for everybody. So, I think if I should go by your simple question, I will want it to be cheap so that the product will be general. But others have talked about the Lagos and Port Harcourt test. I want to say that the Nigerian government is not fair to the South, the owners, where the oil is started from. And again, too, the members of the South are not fair to themselves. Look at from all the fair that has happened. Here they are created the Ministry of Niger Delta at NDDC precisely by Basanjo. It has not even done anything to show that things is going well in the region. Now, the price of petrol is cheap in Lagos. And mind you, that memo, NNPCL, they didn't put the price. Go and look at that memo again. They only said there's increase in price. But suddenly we saw the RFS level. Now, if they claim that subsidy starts from July, why would NNPCL go to increase the price? And that is good news.
All right, good news. Thank you very much. 2 more calls and then my guest will respond. Chima first from Ada George. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Andrew.
Yes, Chima. Go on.
Yes, Andrew. The question you asked, Andrew, I don't think that question makes sense to me. Because when you say availability, why do we argue on the basis of availability when we have crude oil here? Why? I mean, we must be able to tell ourselves the truth. The truth is that the government failed to do what they are supposed to do. And they want to put the pressure on the people. Do you understand? We shouldn't be able to talking about this availability and all that. If we are refining petrol here, you understand? If we are refining petrol here, why should we talk about availability or price and all that? Now, Andrew, why is it that NNPC, I don't know their name now,
NNPC Limited.
Yes, NNPC Limited. Why is it that they are the sole importers of petroleum products? Why? You understand? How will a country survive when you make a particular section or organization a sole importer of petrol? So these are the
things we're talking about.
All right.
And they talk about, each time they talk about landing costs. Andrew, what is landing cost of crying out loud?
Thank you very much, Chima. And then one more, Odima is in New Warfare. Odima, you're welcome. Good morning to you.
Andrew, good morning.
Morning.
Andrew, I beg, first of all, using that, I think you have been insensitive to us, to Nigeria, to ask availability and price. Judo, how can you, Andrew, how can you even ask that? Take for instance, an ordinary policeman on the street. How much is his salary? You pay transport from wherever, or because take the after effect of this increase, everything in the market, the prices will triple. You have not added his salary. You're asking us about availability, Andrew, this morning. The issue of availability doesn't even arise. The issue here is the price. The inflation is going to cost. That's the main issue. The main issue. Dude, the president met with the NNPC managing director a day before NNPC increased their price. What does that mean? In the budget, the subsidy has already been budgeted for the ending of June. So why should NNPC take their price 500 and something? They are going against the rule of law. The law they made, they are going against it. By now, the NNPC managing director should have been arrested.
All right.
So I don't know why we are even discussing this thing. They told us that the provision was made for subsidy to the ending of June. Then 30th of June, you are changing your price, and everybody is keeping quiet. Nobody is against removing subsidy, but there is a plan on how to remove the subsidy. The question is the government following the plan?
All right. So
if the government is not following the plan, that means something is wrong, and something needs to answer.
Okay, thank you. We have Moses and Barry on the line, but they might have to hold on for just a little bit longer. So my guests can respond to some of the issues raised. And to my friend Odima, it's from two angles. We didn't just say availability, we also questioned the price. So some people will say, okay, if they want the price to be like this, let the product be available easily for us to access, and then we would understand that, okay, we have to pay this much to get it. Some other people will argue we do not want, even if it's going to be available, the price needs to be affordable as well. That's where we stand at the moment. That's the confusion that we're having. My guest will respond to a few of this. Let's start from the very first one, which is the yardstick for fixing these prices. Now, the document that came out online had, I'll just go through some of the areas. Okay. And most of the parts of the northern country, 500 is between 515, which is in Lokoja, I think that's the lowest, up until 545. Okay, 550 is the highest. That's around Taraba, Bauchi, and the rest of them. And then if you come down to the southwestern part of the country, from Lagos, it's 488 naira. Abeokuta, Ibadan, Oshogbo, Akure, and Ado-Ekiti, all at 500 naira. Now, if you come to the Niger Delta area, where many would say this is where the product is coming from, this is what you get. From Owerri, it's 515. Abia is 515. I'm including the southeast as well now. Owerri 515. Okay, Oka, Anambra 520. Enugu 520. Abakaliki 520. Port Harcourt 511. Uyo 515. Yenagoa, Bayelsa State 515. Calabar 511. Benin 511. Asaba 511. Why is Yenagoa 520 and places like Benin is 511, Delta State 511? What is the yardstick for fixing these prices? What would PENGASSAN say was looked at before they arrived at these prices? For Lagos, many would say perhaps we have the vessels landing there, and then the Dangote refinery now, which is not operational yet, but perhaps in the future. What else would you say is responsible for these? Because we have refineries here. We also have a port here as well.
I can respond. There is no discussion on the pricing. I don't know where an NPC got that figures from. It's very, very abnormal for someone to sit down in the comfort of his office and fix prices without consulting the stakeholders. We saw that online, and to me, it's an aberration that NPC just wake up one morning and fix prices. Who sat and fixed those prices? And what was the yardstick for fixing the prices?
The old prices we had. I'm pretty sure a meeting was held between PENGASSAN and the government. So those old prices between PENGASSAN and NNPC Limited at the time, what was the yardstick for fixing those old prices?
We look at the landing cost of the product, the subsidizing amount, and then the market price. You don't wake up in the morning and distribute prices to states.
So from these prices now, the various regions of the country I just analyzed or called out, you're saying that those particular indices were not looked at?
I don't know where NNPC got those figures from. We are not aware of that.
Right. Another person, a very important question, the importation of the product. It was saying, why do we have the monopoly of importation? Is that something PENGASSAN has also raised?
Yeah, if you open up the importation of the product without regulating it, one day you wake up and you are putting kerosene in your petrol vehicle. So the regulatory agencies will also play a role in regulating what comes in, the quality, and before it's been thrown into the market.
So in other words, you would say that you would not support the monopoly of importation, or you agree with just the NNPC having the sole powers to import the product?
The regulatory agencies will play a role. Whoever is bringing the product will bring a standard product. So that's where they will verify what is coming in before it be distributed into the market. I think we had a crisis last year or so when we had a bad
the Belgium issue.
So those are part of the issues that we're
going
to
face. We have a sole importer, so it's even worrying that we have a sole importer when that product came in and they said, "Oh, our machines we do not test for methane, or was it propane or methane?"
Someone did not do his job.
But then, why haven't anybody been fired?
You know how this is work. If we,
I don't know. You are in the sector.
I am not the government functionary.
You are in the sector. You would have an idea.
No, I'm not a government functionary. If those in charge of such regulatory positions are government functionaries, government is supposed to take charge and take action on such a lacuna.
So how is PENGASSAN reacting to this? You had said that PENGASSAN had plans in mind, but then you're also looking at how those plans could affect the people. Now, my question is, the prices are here. This is what it is. Even though you said that there wasn't any negotiations or meeting between NNPC and PENGASSAN and other stakeholders before arriving at these prices,
correct,
and you do not know what yardsticks they use to arrive at these, we still have the prices. That's what it is. And you heard the callers. The major complaints from them is not about the availability. It's more about the price. People cannot believe it. And they're saying if the budget provides for subsidy up until the end of June, why would the NNPC be acting in this manner now? So what plans did PENGASSAN have and what steps are you looking at taking?
The leadership is still consulting. Like you know, the meeting yesterday was inconclusive. We are giving those avenues to ensure that we explore all the amicable conversations. If that fails, we'll go back to, the union will have a way of doing our things. We'll go back to the drawing board.
I think I should be direct with it. Are we seeing a protest, a strike? Are you closing shops? What exactly?
It's procedural. The leadership will give a directive on that.
All right. We'll get back to the phone lines in a matter of moments. Let's hear what my guest would say. But some more, the listener has to say. Some more questions on Facebook. Tango Ability says federal government is indirectly paving way for Dangote refinery to determine the market force. Polycap says availability because it controls the price. Availability creates inflation, and unavailability creates inflation, and we Nigerians are tough people. Franco Chidiko Be Confident says availability and price are of equal importance. The big problem is now that subsidy is gone, what would the money be used for? Would it be channeled to electricity generation and distribution? Good morning. Don't you think the president was all right, I can take that one. Safety Jose. On WhatsApp, plenty of messages too. Remember, the WhatsApp number is 0809-030-6416. Let's go. This one says, the whole idea of subsidy removal, I don't just get it. Why should they even remove it in the first place? If that is the only thing the masses will benefit from, the government, so be it. What have they been subsidizing? People have questioned the effectiveness of the subsidy even, saying that there's nobody. I was listening to Shehu Sani, a lawmaker, yesterday saying, point one person that would say, oh, subsidy money was paid to me. You're in the sector. Does this subsidy really get to those who need the subsidy? The marketers and every other player in the sector. Do you people get the subsidy as government claims?
PENGASSAN is not a marketer, so I can't speak for a marketer.
But you can speak. Okay, speak for PENGASSAN. What do you know about the subsidy, and can you say that it is really operational in the system?
At the beginning, you mentioned that the president of PENGASSAN gave a figure of around 360, 400. That is because we have look at what is being subsidized and what is being sold. So the figure will hover around that part. So that's because we believe that is what the government is, that's the landing cost, and then when you put in the charges at the depots, that's what it's supposed to be. So whatever figure they are subsidizing without being known to us is their figure. We are based on what we have seen, what we know.
So subsidy again, was subsidy really being paid within the petroleum sector?
Yes.
To who and how?
To those who are the marketers.
The marketers get subsidy.
Yes.
All right. So how does the present government aspire to help common man get the product at this price? This is Andrew Uche Chukwu asking that question. Another message here on WhatsApp says, we do not have common amenities like light, water, good roads, or to talk of houses for the poor masses. They should continue to pay it until they fix all our refineries or build new ones. After all, how long did it take Dangote to build his own? Jay from Port Harcourt sent this one in. This person here says, many people don't understand the politics behind petrol subsidy and its dangers to development. The intention of the government to subsidize petrol was simply to make the product affordable for Nigerians and make life easier. So the average price of petrol in the world can be as high as 590 naira. However, the Nigerian government will subsidize the product and fixed price at 185, bringing total amount of subsidy per litre to 405 naira. Even with this calculation, you have said PENGASSAN, after doing the calculation with removal of subsidy and all, we still would not be getting 500 naira for the price of petrol.
Yes, that's why I told you I don't know where the figure of the NNPC brandishing came from. If we look at what we have been doing before now, if we remove subsidy, the price will hover around 360 and 400 naira.
Andrew, good morning. Subsidy removal has come to stay. Earlier Nigerians realized this, the better for us. Uche from Port Harcourt. Well, Uche, if I must break this news to you, Nigerians are not angry at subsidy removal. Nigerians are angry at the process. There are certain things that should be in place. Well, it doesn't look like those things are in place. I prefer availability of the product than the price. Availability of the products will crash the price over time or in the long run. John O. Onwao Gugu, you sent that one in from WhatsApp. My question is for, honestly, I'm not happy. All right, he says that I'm defending the Tinubu-led administration. But people have said that the president was the one that removed subsidy. And we've said, the president said, I saw the budget, and after this period of time, there wasn't any provision for subsidy. Was subsidy removed by, I think I should ask you, would you say that the president removed subsidy?
His pronouncement sparked up what you are seeing now as Q. There was provision for subsidy for the month of June. So there was no need for such pronouncement. Subsidy will be removed. We have agreed. The framework is what is being worked upon. And you don't wake up in the morning and the pronounced subsidy is gone. How? On the first day of resumption. So those are the issues. It's not whether subsidy was removed by that pronouncement alone threw us into this confusion.
All right, let's go back to the phone line. See if we could take a call or two before we leave the studio. 08179230009, 08179230007. Someone says, even if Nigerians bear the pain of failed price increase, the inflation that will follow on goods and services will be unbearable. When you put a goat to the wall, it bites like a dog. That's Emmanuel F. Lucas. We're also expecting your comments on Twitter, remember, so join the conversation there as well, and drop your comments on Twitter at Nigeria Info PH. We'll be very glad if you do that. Some more messages here. I've asked you whether we're expecting a protest. Oh, you said that, well, there are inner workings of... But what were the intentions of PENGASSAN? Because you had said that, well, the plans PENGASSAN have would hurt the people, and that's another reason why. Have there been any calls from the authorities here at the state level to try and, calm the situation?
No.
No meetings, no conversations yet from the state level?
Not to my notice.
From any of the unions?
No.
Wow. Okay. Well, you heard that. This one says successive governments aren't telling us the truth on why refineries couldn't work. Since they know subsidy will go there, the government should have fixed the railways Gerald from Umwebulu. You sent that message in 0817-923-0007. That's the phone number. Callers, and let's hear what you have to say before we leave the studio this morning. My guest has been Mr. George Nwoko, and George Nwoko is the chairman at PENGASSAN Port Harcourt Zone. This person here says, I didn't read your messages. My brother, if you see the textbook you sent to me as a message, I don't have the time to read all of it. We can only take parts of it. Apologies, but that's what it is. We have a lot of people who are also sending. Charles Contrell, please understand. That's why we took a part of your message. There are many more messages to take. Emmanuel is in Onelga. Emmanuel, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Andrew.
Go on.
My name is Emma. Very much unfortunate. We have a country that is blessed. But we've never had rulers for some time. We've never had leaders for some time. What we've had are rulers. And I want to use the word emperors. They consider themselves as emperors. Emperors don't take interest of their masses or who they live. So they see Nigerian as cake that as much as possible they should divide and take anyhow. Having the feeling that it's an ending cake that just take as much as your hands can take. Tell me how a president who happened to be a kingmaker knew about the budget, have his economic team assembled before swearing in, privilege to subsidy removal. We will have thought about it, had about the implications, the masses will suffer. They came on board and announced it without any remedial measure. And now come with the excuse that it is by June ending. I just wonder the kind of leadership we have. Already has said himself that it is his turn. So he's turn to do whatever he likes without consideration to the poor masses. Buhari has finished his own and has gone. Announced subsidy removal from 95 when Jonathan was here, when he took over from Jonathan, and announced it to 145. Yet we still have the same subsidy removal that was removed before still existing. Just too bad. Our leaders, we don't have leaders, I want to say. We have rulers and emperors.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Let's go to Leighton Barry in Bori. I think we get your point already, Emmanuel. Good morning, Leighton Barry. Straight to the point, please. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Andrew.
You're welcome.
And good morning to your guests in the studio.
Good morning.
Yes. My concern to this fuel subsidy removal, well, it's neither here nor there. But another thing is that I think the organized labor also meets with the president, and that arrangement ends in a deadlock. But my very much concern is on the union itself. If things are taking this shape, and the federal government have decided to adjust their pump price to this 500 and something naira, what is the union or labor doing about the workers' salary?
All right, that's a very critical question. Leighton Barry, my guest, will respond after this commercial. Do stay tuned.
Every morning is an opportunity to take
Right, yes, we are back. Mr. Nwoko, quickly, before we draw the curtain, talk to us. You heard the question asked. Stepping conversations around salaries for workers. Have the unions held any joint meeting to discuss this particular concern?
Those are part of the discussions. What would the impact of this be? The framework is being worked upon. We have been on the table discussing all this, and they don't wake up arbitrarily and remove and pronounce the removal. Those are not being concretized. The discussions have been on the impact. How do you cushion it? How do you make amendments?
So the conversations on the palliative, because we know that the government had said 800 million at the time for palliative, which organized labor wasn't also very happy with because they felt it could be channeled differently.
Yeah, because it's easy to pronounce a figure. How do you intend to...
it was to go to the poor of the poor.
Who are the poor of the poor? How do you determine that? Those are the framework we need to look at. How do you determine the poor of the poor? Who has the statistics? Who has the figures?
Well said, Mr. Nwoko. Thank you very much. But this is where we wrap things up on the Morning Crossfire. Hello, Port Harcourt is next, and Jude is already standing by. My name is Ifeemi Andrew on all social media platforms. Ifeemi Andrew Official on Instagram and Twitter. Ifeemi Andrew 1 on TikTok. Good morning.